All right, welcome everyone to the Planetary Workshop today. We are happy to see you here. We do have interpretation for Vietnamese with Sabod, and we also have in Spanish with Devesh. We'll also be using the menti.com today, so the link will be in the chat, and we hope you can join us there. And we'd love for any one of you guys to, or all of you, to turn on your cameras so that we can see all your wonderful, beautiful faces and we can engage. All right, so we are going to, I think Dada's going to share the screen so we can just go over the schedule and start this workshop. So today, the Planetary Workshop will take a few minutes for a welcome. Then we will have some chanting, which is going to be our Kiirtan with Baba Nam Kevalam. And then we'll have guided meditation, followed by a presentation, some closing, and of course, a few announcements. So I thought I would go to the next slide. PLT here, our community is a global community. We have people from all over the globe. We have people from all different walks of life, and we want everyone to always feel welcome. So we like to start our live presentations with this quote from Sri Sri Anandamurti. It is our duty to accelerate the speed of human progress. Your endless efforts to broaden and smoothen the path of human movement will render our present existence and your future history inestimable. So again, everyone's welcome. We're happy to see you here. We love to see our community growing and to see people from all over the globe. So on that note, I'm going to pass this back over to Karun. And he is going to start with our chanting meditation again, which is Baba Nam Kevalam, followed by some silent, guided in a little bit of silent meditation, and then we'll start with our presentation. So again, thank you for joining us and enjoy.
I'm going to sing this mantra, Baba Nam Kevalam. Many of you are familiar with this, but perhaps not all of you. And it means only the feeling of limitless love. So you can just sit straight and close your eyes, and my friend here is going to accompany me. I think you've all probably got your microphones off by default, which is good because I love singing with people, but over the internet doesn't work. So you're welcome to sing, but keep your mics off, please. And yeah, just sit straight and close your eyes, and we're just going to have a very short chanting and then silent meditation. Baba keep your eyes closed. Sit straight and breathe through your nose if you can comfortably. And let the mantra Baba Nam Kevalam continue in your mind with the music. And just focus on the idea behind that, this feeling of limitless love. And connect to the source of love within you. And we'll meditate on that silently for just a couple of minutes. Just take a deep breath. And you breathe out and relax, and you can open your eyes.
Namaskar. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about karma. And the question is karma good or bad? And many times we have this question in our mind, why this happened to me? We don't know. And we think, oh, this shouldn't have happened. Or sometimes we are very grateful that something happened, but we don't know why. So we are going to explore this, going to use the Mentimeter, and you can interact when we have questions with the links that are posted there in the chat window. So let's move on. We are going to address 3 main questions today, and we will look for simple answers to these 3 questions. The first one is, where does my karma come from? The second will be, how do I get rid of it? And the third one, how do I avoid getting more? I will look for simple answers. Of course, we can get much on this topic because it's a very large topic. We have a limited space and time in life in general, so we'll look at a practical approach to it. First, let me explore this point. Where does my karma come from? There is a law of action and reaction that we know in the physical world. It's the third law of Newton. So let's say I'm swimming. When I'm swimming, I am pushing against the water. So that's an action. So what is the reaction? The water pushes me back, and then I move forward. So in this case, it's something good. I'm doing an action, pushing the water pushes me forward, I'm on swimming. This is in the physical world. So in the physical world, there is this law, action and reaction. But this same law is also in the psychic world, in the mental world. It's just a little bit different, not much, but it is, let's say, it is very similar to the physical law. So, but here, what happens is something happening in the mind. So just a moment. So how does it work? Let me see. Let me define what is an action in a simple way. Suppose I have a ball and I change the position of the ball. So it was in point A, then now I'm going to move the ball to point B. So there was a change of position. That's an action. If we see in the physical world, we push something, it moved. I walked, it's a movement. So I'm changing positions. So this change of position of an object is an action. In the same way, in the mind, I'm thinking one word, it's creating a mental vibration. I think a different word, it creates a different mental vibration. So the mind is moving also from one thought to another one. That's also action. So mental action, physical action, you are changing positions of an object or you are changing position of a thought. So what is the effect of this action in the mind? Let's think that this circle is my mind and the other circle is the mind of another person. our minds are in a balanced state, in an original way. Then I do an action. Maybe I talk to that person. When I talk to that person, there's a change in my mind. There is also a change in the mind of the other person. So both minds get distorted from what they were. So if they were in a, let's say originally, mind was in a perfect balanced state. But then when it started thinking, it changes the shape. So now from the original, it became distorted. But the mind wants to go back. It wants to go back to its original state. So when it wants to go back, what happens? A reaction happens. So something happens, which is the reaction. And now my mind goes back to original. That's the reaction. So action, mind gets distorted. Reaction, mind goes back. Like a ball of rubber. Action, I press the ball. If I stop pressing, the ball comes back to its original shape. So that's action and reaction. But what happens is that I do an action, but the reaction does not happen immediately. It may take some time, could be minutes, could be years, could be decades, could be in another life. So the reaction doesn't happen immediately. So I did one action, then I did another action, and then I did a third action, and my mind is changing because of each action. And it is accumulating a reaction. So the reaction did not happen yet. It's being stored in my mind. So my mind is keeping all these reactions there. And they will happen sometime in the future. The word karma phala. Phala means the fruits. Karma, action. So the fruits of the action, it means the reaction. I did an action, so I thought I'm going to do this. When I did that, a reaction was accumulated. Maybe it happened immediately, maybe after a long time, maybe the next life. So that reaction is called karma phala, the fruit of my action. So I do action, karma, and I get karma phala, fruit of the action. But the fruit of the action doesn't happen immediately. It happens when the time is right. So when is the time right? We human beings don't know. So then, oh, sorry, I jumped here. Just wait a moment. Have more on this topic. So the karma phala is the result of the actions. We can decide about the action, what I'm going to do. I'm going to attend the workshop. I'm going to attend the course. So you decide on the action. But the result is not in our hands. Means what will happen after I do the action, I don't know. Anything can be. So the control that we have is only when we do the action. And the reaction does not happen immediately. In some rare cases, it can, but usually it takes some time. These reactions that are waiting to happen, they constitute our karma. We call it samskara. Each reaction that is waiting to happen is one samskara. So all these samskaras together, they remain in our mind. So this is an important concept and word in Sanskrit, that the reaction that is waiting to happen is called samskara. All these samskaras together, okay, all these reactions together, they may determine who we are today. We did so many things in our past, and that builds up and makes us how we are today. So today we are in this way because we did so many actions in the past, and they created all these samskaras. So now a question to you that you can answer in the Mentimeter: where does our karma come from? So you have 4 choices. It is something predetermined by God. He already chose everything that's going to happen to us. Or we can say just, oh, that was my destiny. Or it is the result of my previous actions. Or we can say it's genetic. Because you are born in that place with that family, then you inherit these genes, and that makes you. So let's see what answers we get. If you can, if you have not so far experienced the Mentimeter, you can make an effort. Click on the link, you will go into the window, and then you can vote, give your answer, and then come back to Zoom. All right, so I see that most of you are choosing the answer that's the result of my previous actions. Yes, so that's what I was making an effort to emphasize, that where does the karma come from? I do an action, and then there is a reaction to my action, and that reaction didn't happen yet, so it gets accumulated, and that is forming my karma. Okay, so that's a simple answer for the first question: where does my karma come from? So how do I get rid of it? And why do I want to get rid of it? The thing is that because of our karma, we are not free. We are like in bondage. If we are free from the karma, then we are really free. But as long as we have karma, we are not free. We are in a chain. So I'm going to talk about another word. We talked about karma phala. Phala means fruit, fruit of the action. Now there is karma shaya. This shaya is like a bundle. You have all these reactions, and you accumulating all of them makes like a bundle, a collection of samskaras. That's the karmashaya. It can determine your personality. It can determine your choices in life. And it makes you think that you are in a certain way. Let me illustrate it. A question: what is your favorite color amongst these? I'm giving you 5 colors, so which one is your favorite? Let's see. You may have another favorite color, but between these here, amongst these, which one is your favorite? Okay, there is one question here. Where did it start? Where is the Big Bang? Okay, so I'm talking here from what I understood from studying, and so what I think everything started when we became human beings. Because before we become human beings, we are still taken care by the cosmic mind. So the cosmic mind is guiding the plants, the animals. But when we are more evolved as a human being, then we have some freedom to act. And because of that freedom to act, then I act and I get the reaction. So I'm looking here and somebody's trying to annotate. So let's clear that. And I need to. Okay, so I see here that everybody's choosing something different. Some people like white, 3 people white, 1 is red, blue is winning with 5, and orange is 2, and black is 1. So why? Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, so now let's analyze why we have different choices. All right, so I made a simple figure here to make an effort to explain you. Different people have different karmashaya, different bundle of samskara. Now let's say that the person number 1 has a mind number 1 and person number 2 mind number 2. These 2 people are different, so that's why I put a different shape, okay? The shape of their mind is different. Why the shape of the mind is different? Because their bundle of samskaras is different. So the shape of the mind is different. So the first person, the action is like this water that we put inside the container. So when we put water in one container, takes one shape and reacts in a certain way, becomes blue. So the person likes blue. The other person, when you put the same water, means I ask the same question, what's your favorite color? So the water is the same, what's your favorite color? In one, when I put this question there, it became blue. So the person said blue. The other person, mind is different. So same question, what is your favorite color? When I put the question there, takes a different shape and form and color, red. So the karmashaya is what determines the shape of your mind. All the actions you did in your life, they determine your shape of mind. According to the shape of your mind, you choose. So you think that you have a free choice. Oh, I like blue because I like blue. But actually, you like blue because of your karmashaya. Something happened in your life or in your previous lives. So many things happen that now you answer my question as blue and somebody else answers as red. So let's continue exploring this one. All right, so that was how to get rid of samskaras. The natural way, you live them. Different things happen in your life. You don't know why things are happening, but they are happening. You have to go on living. So that's the natural way. The samskaras are happening. Different things are happening in your life, and some things you don't like, some things you like, good, bad, all this is happening. That's you are exhausting your samskaras. So you're getting rid of them. The accelerated way means when you clear them with more speed is when you meditate and when you do service. Let's see why. You imagine this person number one, the mind is in this way, and any action that happens takes a certain shape in the mind of this person. So now, the person starts meditating. When you start meditating, what are you doing? You are doing an action in your mind. So you are bringing a thought and you are putting this in the mind. Meditation, the meditation that we do is to think about or to concentrate on something infinite. When we did meditation, Baba Nam Kevalam, we are thinking infinite love. Infinite love is big idea. So when you put this big idea in this limited mind, it is creating pressure to expand the mind to fit that big idea. So you are meditating, putting that thought in your mind is difficult. Why is difficult? Because imagine a mind that is limited like the drawing there. It's just a small container. Now you put this big thought inside, it has difficulty, it doesn't fit there. But it doesn't fit there, it's creating pressure on the mind. It wants to change the shape of the mind. So it forces the mind to change shape. When the mind changes shape, it has to eliminate some parts of the bondage, which are those samskaras. So you meditate, pressure, something goes out. That's samskara. So you feel it, but it goes out. Okay? So why to do service together with meditation? because we have to experience the samskara. When it goes out, we have to experience it. So something will happen. If we are doing service, let's say that I am helping somebody. I have to do some effort. Maybe it's a bit uncomfortable. I have to give a talk at 9:30 a.m. So I have to be ready 9:30 to give the talk. I have to rush. So I go through some effort to be ready, to prepare so that I can share some spiritual ideas with people. So I go through some effort. And at the same time, I'm meditating. So I meditate, my samskaras are coming. I experience them doing service. I get joy and I'm getting more free. If I don't do the service, I have to go through those samskaras in another way that maybe is not so pleasing. It doesn't give me fulfillment. I'm just going about it in a selfish way. So that's not so great. But if I'm meditating, samskaras are coming out, I'm doing service, and everything is resolving in that way, it is much better. So this formula, meditation and service, is a very good formula. You accelerate the samskaras and you experience them doing service. So it gives you double joy, joy of meditation, joy of service. Otherwise, you are bringing them out in your meditation, and then in your life you are facing so many difficulties. It is not so joyful. All right, so let me go forward. So now I ask you, what's the best way to get rid of my karma? So you can go into the... Okay, so somebody's saying, so there is no karma in plants, animals, things. That's a difficult question if there is a karma in plants, animals, and things, but basically, plants and animals, they don't have that free will, so they are guided by the cosmic mind. So the cosmic mind is taking all the samskaras. Okay. All right, so if you can, again, go into the Mentimeter, we can post again the link, and there is this question. What's the best way?
The Menti is not actually showing what's on your screen right now.
Really?
I'm
okay.
Working with Krishna Prema about that.
Let me refresh.
Restart it.
I will just refresh. What about now?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Wait.
let me give the link.
The
link is again.
I can say next several times. There's a next button at the bottom of the screen, and then I can get to eventually
Okay.
Where we are.
I will stop share for a moment.
Okay.
Okay. But you can already start thinking about it. Okay, I made some change. And I'm going to share the screen again. Try now.
It looks like that will work. Will work now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So the question is there on the screen. You see, if you have this kind of tests in your exams, everybody will pass, no? If the teacher will give you the answer before and then gives you the question, then everybody will make 100. And actually that should be the case, okay? But I see that somebody here said that the best way to get rid of karma is to be a good person. Let me look at that answer, okay? When I am a good person, what happens? I do good actions. And when I do good actions, what happens? Anybody has a clue? You can type in the chat window. If I only do good actions, what will happen in my life? So if anybody wants to, okay, accumulate golden chains. That's what happens. Look, I do a bad action. I get a bad reaction. I do a good action. I get a good reaction. But good or bad, reactions are bondages, like a chain. That's why Suresh said the chain. Golden chain or iron chain. Which chain is better? If you are a slave and you are in a golden chain or in an iron chain, you are in bondage in both ways. So the idea here is that by meditating, you are changing the shape of your mind in such a way that the samskaras or these reactions, this karma is coming out. When it's coming out, you are doing service. So you are experiencing them, but you are doing service, you feel good about it. And yes, we have a comment from Via Batra that good and bad are cultural concepts. Yes, sometimes we think something is bad today, but then it ends up being something good. And it could be according to the society. If you do something everybody thinks is bad, but then in the future they think, oh, that was not bad, that was good. So it's relative. All right, so thank you for your answers on this one. And how to avoid getting more? Because we just saw that if we do many good actions, we get many good reactions. So still I'm in bondage, but the idea is to be free. To be free, you have to avoid that you get more karma or more reactions, more samskaras. So how to do that? So let's make an effort to understand. When I do an action, I get reaction. So there are 3 points there. One is I, the other one is that you do, and then there is the action. So let's say that we remove the do. So I don't do anything. If I don't do anything, it means I don't get reaction. The problem is that it's impossible not to do anything. Even when you are breathing, the air is going in, your body expands, so there is a change of position. There is an action. So just to exist is an action. You cannot exist without action. So we have to do. So the other point is the I do. So I do this, I do that, I do. I do means I get reaction. So how can I change that I? The only thing here that I can change is the I. So how to change it? What did the yogis discover? You know, the yogis were thinking that they are always doing action, so they are getting the reaction. So what can they do? So they thought that if they utilize cosmic ideation, what is that? If I'm not thinking that I'm doing, if I think that it is the cosmic entity that is doing, okay, it's doing through me, but I'm not the one doing. It is that cosmic entity that is doing. You know, so it was necessary to understand more about our connection as an individual with the everything. How do I connect with everything? So they thought that if in my mind I'm not feeling that I do, it means I don't get the reaction. So that's what they discovered. And then they started perfecting this practice. They started developing it. And they thought also that if I don't get the karma phala, or the fruit of the action doesn't come to me, then that also helps. So they surrender the fruit of the action. You do, but don't think about the result. Surrender the result to that same cosmic entity. So this, combining these with meditating and filling up the mind with consciousness, means when you meditate, you are having that idea that I'm filling my mind with love, with consciousness. So that is also clearing the mind. And I have a question here that Maitri is putting, that ideation might not be fair if the action is bad. All right. We have to apply the ideation before the action. So if you apply before the action, it will have an effect on the action. If you do the action before you apply, then yes, okay, that might be a bad action. But usually if you apply it before the action, it will guide your action also to be a proper action. Cosmically guided action. Remember, this is a practice. We don't start a practice by controlling it 100%. So in the beginning, we are not very good at it, but we are practicing. And then we become better and better. Imagine you want to be in good shape. You don't go to the gym already in good shape, and then you start. No, you go there in bad shape, and then you start, then you get into good shape. So in the same way, yogis discover this, and now they teach to us, this is how you do. So in the beginning, we are bad at it. We are not good in doing it. But with make effort, practice all the time, then we become good at it. So that's the way to avoid new karma, new reactions. Otherwise, we'll eliminate the old ones, get new ones, and it just goes in a cycle. So to get out of the cycle is a lot of effort, a lot of practice. But the good news is that there is a way. We have to apply these in our daily life through practices. In our system of practices, there are specific practices for different results. So one of the practices is this one, how to apply cosmic ideation. Do it in this way. Okay, now you practice, and when you become good at it, it starts working. So that was the presentation. That was like the theory. I would like you to have a moment to discuss amongst yourselves this question. So we are going to break out in rooms. You will have let's say 12 minutes or less. I know about 12 minutes is okay from the time you start the discussion. And discuss amongst you, what do you think? Is karma good or bad? All this, like for example, many times we think, oh, I'm so unlucky, I have such a bad karma, and that person has so good karma, he's getting much money, he's very happy. So is that how we think? And so what happens in our life, for example, suppose I have an accident, or I lose some money, or something unhappy happens. Is that bad? Is that good? So Karun will open up some rooms. I will stop the sharing. So write down the question, and then we'll put you in rooms according to the language, so you can have a discussion on the topic. And after that, when you come back, you can put your answers in the Mentimeter. Even during the meeting, you can already start writing. The Mentimeter it remains active, and the answers will be registered there. Okay, so it seems the breakout rooms are open. You want to give an instruction, Karun?
I've created 2 Vietnamese, 2 English, and 1 Spanish room. Please choose your room. I'm assigning, if I can tell your language, I'm pre-assigning some, and we hope you have a good discussion.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a nice time in your rooms. And I know some rooms were more empty than others, but others, I think everybody talked a little bit about the subject. And I wonder if, I'm going to share the screen, and I wonder if, okay, let me know if you see my screen, Karun. And yes. The question is there. So if you want to put some ideas there, okay, somebody said, I don't think it is either. Right, okay, so that's the idea, basically, that it's not good or bad. But in the summary, I'm going to clarify a few of the concepts that we had today. And I'm going first to the summary now, just to review a little bit, and then we'll have some other activity. So let's see. A few concepts that are important. We have advertised this program, this workshop, with the word karma. Is karma good or bad? Okay, but if we want to be very precise with our philosophy, the word karma just means action, okay? So we don't use karma in that way. So let me bring up the words that we usually use. The first one is the word samskara. Samskara means the reaction. You do one action, you will get one reaction, and that reaction is called samskara. When it's there waiting to happen, it didn't happen yet, you created it because you did an action. So now that samskara is there within your mind, it is waiting to happen. Then it happens. When it happens, it means that was the fruit of the action. So we call it karma phala. Phala means fruit. So the fruit of the action is when the samskara happened. Okay? And all those samskaras that you are holding in your mind, it's like a big bundle, so many. That's your karma shaya. So these three words that we use, and when you use only the word karma, it means action. It means to do something. Karma means to do something, an action. All right? So in this way, just to be a little bit more precise. Then, where does my karma come from? The best word to use there instead of karma is which one? I put in the chat. How do I substitute the word karma here? Which one should I use? Should I use samskara, karma phala, or karma shaya? Anybody? Somebody says samskara. Okay, you can use, okay, somebody's saying karma phala. All right, so it depends what you want. For example, you want to know where do the samskaras come from? The samskaras come from the actions, because the samskara is a reaction. So where does the karma phala come from? The karma phala comes from the action also, but you did an action, it became a samskara, it became part of the karma shaya, and then there was a time, opportune time, that something happened, eliminated some samskara. Okay, so you could even use either one, because samskara comes from the action. The karma phala also is when the samskara is expressing, and the karma shaya also came from the action because it's all all the samskaras accumulated there. It's a collection of samskaras. Okay, so there is a question here, comment. You are saying that the accumulation of samskara is in the mind and the expression of samskara mostly in the physical realm. Not only physical, could be mental, because action can be physical. Physical is like this. The mind is doing the action, but using the indriyas, the motor organs, to bring it to the physical world. That's a physical action. But there is mental action that's only happening in the mind. So some of the samskaras can only happen in our mind. Let's say I'm feeling in a certain way, but I don't act, but I'm feeling in that way. So that's also a expression of samskara. Okay, so it can be mental, can be physical. And then, how do I get rid of it? Now, in this case here, it would be the karmashaya, the bundle of samskaras. How do I get rid of all this bundle? So, by filling my mind with consciousness through meditation and by doing service. In that way, I'm eliminating this karmashaya, this collection of samskaras. Otherwise, I'm carrying this bag full of samskaras, and it's heavy in my life. But when I'm getting liberated, getting free from them, then my life changes. How do I avoid getting more samskaras, which will add to my karmashaya? By using cosmic ideation, which means it's not I doing the action, it is the cosmic is doing. So I'm not getting the reaction. So that is a little bit the summary. If you have any comments or questions, keep typing in the chat and I can look at them. So just to go back, we don't always use the word karma in the way that people outside use. We have these three words: samskara, karma phala, and karmashaya. So here goes some more question. Isn't the fruit of action also dependent on the confluence of all other person's samskaras, subjective as well as objective? Yes. I will give an example. Suppose there is a boy. This boy is 12 years old. And the samskara of this boy is that his father will die when he is 12. Okay? So there is a boy. What is the samskara? The father will die when he's 12. So now you have the father. You have the father also has samskara. What is the samskara of the father? To die when his son is 12. So everything has to be combined. Okay, so let's say, for example, I'm here talking to you. So let's say that this is an expression of my samskara to be talking to a group of people. And your samskara would be that you are here listening to it. Okay, so the two must combine so that this situation happens. So you imagine how everything is so complex in this universe, how all these interactions are taking place. It's much beyond our human mind to understand. And somebody says that it's too complex to believe. You know, for example, even for us human beings, when we are studying science in a laboratory, for example, we want to have a chemical reaction. There are many factors. There are the chemicals, the container has to be clean, the temperature, the pressure. So many factors have to come together for something to happen. In the same way in life, many factors come together so that some situation happens to me or to you. Okay, now the good thing is we don't have to understand the whole thing. For example, let's say, I always like this example. I'm going to the gym to do exercise, all right? And there is a machine in front of me. And I'm going to pull and release and pull and release, and that will make my muscle strong, okay? That's enough. I don't have to know that when I'm pulling, then this chemical reaction is happening, and the food that I ate is being transformed in this, and then in that, and then it's building up a molecule, and that's adding to my muscle. I don't need to think all that. I just need to think that if I do this exercise, it will have some effect on my arms. I'll be a little bit stronger. That's enough. If I'm going to analyze all that is happening, you can't. So in the same way, what do we need to know? I meditate according to a certain system. I do service. Good, I'm moving. And then you are experiencing it. Yes, I'm feeling more free. I'm feeling better. So you know it's working. All right. So now we are going to, we are not going to this one. We are going to stop my sharing. And we are going to do one activity that you have been used to doing in our workshops. We call it a waterfall. And the question I'm putting to you is like this. We are reaching to the end of 2022 or 2021, and we are going into the new year, which is 2022. So in this new year, what do you want to do more? You know, so what do you want to spend more time with? In 1 or 2 words, maximum 3, you can type it in the chat, but don't send yet. Just type there. What do you want to do more in 2022? And I'm going to count until 3 and tell you to submit, and then you press the button and we get everything at the same time. So right there, what do you want to do more in 2022? I'm also having a hard time to think what I want to do more, if it's only one thing. So I'm putting 2. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Now press. Okay, so let's see. The first one, service and meditation, search and research. Great. Service. Get out and around the world. Yes, that's a good thing. Be creative. Okay, Karun, some Vietnamese word there, please. Teach asana.
Meditation.
And then meditation.
Twice in Vietnamese.
Okay, and then again, meditation and I put also meditation and service. Meditation is better. Meditation, service. Okay, so I think I brainwashed you. You all now want to do service and meditation. 2 days up, my granddaughter. Great. Okay, thanks, Mohini. That's nice. All right, so I think I'm done, and I'm going to give to Krishna Prema now. Krishna Prema, you can take over.
Thank you, Donna Rujindana. That was wonderful. It was very, I learned a lot today. Thank you.
Okay.
Fantastic subject. So if you can share your screen. So everyone, we are just so fortunate to have you all here today and having these workshops. And as our community grows, we are using our online platform, and we'll be using even more of it in 2022. So it's a great opportunity. If you haven't gotten yourself familiar with our online platform, please do. And if you are familiar with it, then keep interacting. We are trying to put up relevant context at least every other day. We have questions, we have announcements there, and we have some exciting news that we'll share in just a minute. So if you can forward it, Dada. Okay, so next week will be our last workshop for 2021. So we hope you'll be there. It'll be the same time as today, and it'll be Dada Maheshwarananda, and we'll be talking about the hero's journey and the spiritual path. So I think it's going to be, I think like all our workshops, I think they're dynamic and relevant and exciting. So I'm hoping you'll be there for our final workshop of 2021. And the last thing, big announcement, we talked a little bit about this last Sunday, is we are starting a course in January, 99 days to transform your world, meditation, yoga, and living with purpose. It starts January 22nd. Enrollment now is open. It's open on our Mighty Networks platform. An email went out with a link. We're also get a lot more information out there. And if you have any questions, you can definitely email us at support at our Planetary Leadership Training. And the course is open to everyone, people from, from all globally, from all walks of life. It's for people that from the public to people that have been on a spiritual path for a while. It's going to be, I think, really an exciting opportunity. You're going to get day-to-day personal practice routine. We're going to have live sessions on Saturday to kind of go deeper on different topics and to really create and develop a global community. And at the very end, you will earn a certificate upon completion after you've completed the course and the required assignments. So again, we're really excited about this this course, put a lot of effort into it. And I think you guys, it's going to be a great value to everyone. So please go to Mighty Networks, check out the course. There's more information about the topics that we're going to be talking about and about the day-to-day interactions and what you're going to get with your enrollment into the course. And we do have it in a couple different currencies that you can sign up for. We have it in the US dollar, the Euro dollar. We have it in the Mexican peso, reais, and rupees. And we'll be adding more currency as necessary. And we will have live translation on the Saturday courses. At this point, we for sure have it in Vietnamese, and we'll have it in Spanish. And we're working on Portuguese and some other languages. So invite your friends, and we hope to see you there. And I think on that note, that is the end for our workshop today. Again, we really appreciate everybody joining us. We appreciate our translators. We appreciate our host. And of course, we appreciate Dada Rajitananda for making such a great presentation. And we wish you a wonderful week. We will launch a poll right now for our workshop. We always need your feedback so we can keep working on improving things. And we will be talking about this topic, about our karma and about samskaras and karmaphala and karmasha in our Mighty Networks platform this week. So again, join us there and have a wonderful week. Thank you.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you to everyone who voted. I'll end the poll now and hope to see you in the future. Till next time.